The Boston Celtics defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers 106 to 93. This was a game that was competitive at the start, with both teams giving it their all. At the start of the game, Jayson Tatum came out firing. I think he scored 14 or 16 points in that first quarter. He was on fire, hitting all his shots, hitting all his threes. Everything that could go right was going right for him in that game. Yeah, especially in the first quarter, I would say he was just in fuego, as they would say. Celtics had other guys also stepping up early in the game, and just Derek White and Jaylen Brown and Jrue Holiday. Those guys were all stepping up. So as a team, their starting five played really great in this game, except for Al Horford. He was just meh on the offensive end, but he was decent defensively. Now for the Cavs at the start of the game, I felt Donovan Mitchell also came out swinging from the start. He started off very strong. And it was competitive for a stretch, I would say. It was entertaining up until the second quarter when both teams were tied 32-32. The Celtics went on a run, and they never looked back in this game. They just never looked back. There were a few times where the Cavs could cut into their lead. I think at one point the Celtics might have been up by 26, 27 points. But the Cavs could never come back in this game and take the lead. A few times they got it all the way down to 8 or 9 points, and it looked like the Celtics would choke away this game. But they didn't. They got timely buckets and timely stops whenever they needed them. There was just one stretch in the fourth quarter that stood out to me, was when I think the Cavs were going on another run and they cut it down to like 10 points, and it seemed like they were going to score on an easy bucket where Donovan was driving to the hole and he gets blocked from the back by Derek White, which leads to an easy fast break point for the Celtics, where I think Jrue Holiday scored a layup, or Jaylen Brown. I think it was Jaylen Brown scored a layup, and they pushed the lead back up to 12 again, and then they got another stop, and White scored on that possession. It was a 14-point game, and after that, you knew there's just no chance of the Cavs to come back and win this game. To me, the biggest issue with the Cavs in this game was, for long stretches, Donovan Mitchell was not getting enough help from his supporting cast. None of these guys were stepping up during key stretches of the game, which allowed the Celtics to build a 20-point something lead. If those guys had stepped up earlier in this game, the Cavaliers would not have been in this huge hole where they had to fight their way out of. So I think that was the biggest thing from this game, that these guys have to step up. It can't just be Donovan Mitchell by himself. Donovan had a great game. I felt the rest of the team just didn't do enough to help him when it really mattered during a crucial stretch in this game that allowed them to fall behind. Now, if you're a Cavs fan, there's some positives. These guys started to step up later on in the game. They could have easily gotten blown out by 40 or 50, but then they made it competitive and fought their way back to cutting it down to 8 or 9 points several times in this game. You need that type of effort from the beginning. You need these guys to step up from the beginning with Donovan to make the game a lot closer. And then you could possibly steal the next game and win it and tie the series again 2-2. But it looks like the Celtics are going to win this series. I said that they were going to win it from the start, and I felt the Cavs missed a golden opportunity in this game to take control of the series and put a lot more pressure on Boston. Now Boston is comfortable. They don't have to necessarily win game 4. So it's kind of like it is a must-win for the Cavs, I feel, because they can't go down 3-1. All the pressure is on them now. It'll be interesting to see their adjustments the next game, but Boston is back in the driver's seat of the series. Granted, I picked Boston to win the series before it started, so it's not surprising to me, but Cavs now have to focus on getting game 4 and making the series tied again and just go from there. That's pretty much all I have to say about this game.